Hi, everybody. Valerie McSorley here with another episode of BUZZWORTHY, live from Gillette Stadium. Now I have the great pleasure of talking with Dan Sorrell, Chief Technology Officer here at CallFinder. Dan, welcome.
Thank you. It's great.
Wonderful to have you here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for doing this.
How's the day been?
It's been busy. We've been, talking to a lot of people. Just came off a presentation. Have people coming right over to the booth. So it's everything you want it to be.
Awesome. So, this whole day is dedicated to technology, and you're a CTO. So in your role as CTO, what excites you the most about a client-centric organization like CallFinder?
Well, from a technology standpoint, I'm a techie nerd, and, the amount of data and the information we deal with here analyzing phone calls is astronomical. But, further to that, getting to see our technology actually make a difference, actually have it see real outcomes happen. Some of the success stories we've seen from some of our clients, it's real. It's not made up stuff. And for me, that's when technology can provide that. Mm-hmm. That's just what makes it all worth it.
Very rewarding.
Yes.
CallFinder's recently introduced some AI-powered enhancements to your coaching module. So can you explain a little bit, because AI is buzzing, it's everywhere here in the air, how AI is transforming that coaching for contact centers?
Yeah, absolutely. So over the last couple of years, ever since ChatGPT came onto the scene, it's really just been a game changer from, overnight in the amount of generative AI that's out there, the amount of text that can be generated. And so we saw the opportunity that we could really tailor a coaching platform and generate a lot of content specific back to agents and supervisors on the best way to coach and train their agents. And so for us, those are the ways that we implemented AI within coaching and really tying it back to what the goals of the company are. So no two companies are the same, and we everything we do is tailored around that.
Awesome. So, a lot of folks are attracted to AI for reducing a lot of work, making things more efficient. And how will the integration of AI in CallFinder's module reduce the workload for supervisors and managers? Because that's what they want to know.
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
So what we see is, just like everything that CallFinder does, we see it as an augmentation of their current workflows. And so really being able to narrow in very quickly on what the calls are that you should be reviewing that are tied back to the goals of the company and to where your agents currently are. So every agent's at a different point in their journey. They all have different skill sets and so on and so forth. And our AI tools are able to really go specific to the agent and tailor the content and the training materials for them. And that cuts down on QA in a drastic way. And then it also removes a lot of ambiguity and a lot of unbiased, or removes the bias from the coaching as well.
So, this whole team, I've had so much fun sitting down with your team all day, and you're all really just truly client-led in everything you do. And I really love your consultative approach. And, as in your role, though, how do you ensure that technology roadmap is aligned with their client needs? And it seems like you really get a lot out of that engagement and really driving results home. So you're road mapping this whole thing. So I'm guessing that you're beginning with the end in mind, and maybe you can just tell me a few examples about how that's really influenced your changing features, how you've, really tried to make gains for your clients.
So yeah, you had a chance to talk to Sam earlier, one of our speech analysts, and you could tell talking to him, he's very passionate about helping clients, and he's
amazing.
He really goes the extra mile to understand what our customers need and our clients need. And so from the technology aspect, it's really working closely with our speech analysts to understand what is going on with our customers. What is it that they are missing? What are their pain points? And then even further than that, we try to look for areas where they may not even know what their pain points are or realize that technology can solve something for them. And so it really... Our roadmap is heavily, heavily driven by just what we think is the right thing our clients need.
So his client enthusiasm just shined right through. It was so refreshing to see. He really takes a lot of pride in what he does, for sure. And so what would you say as a technology leader, what would you say right now to the future of contact center QA and coaching, and where is it heading in the next? we could say next few years, but next 6 months,
I
like
was gonna
break it
say,
down for me. Like I'm thinking of like Q3, Q4 this year. Like
Yeah,
things are.
it's
I don't think
really
we can predict that far.
it's really amazing how fast the technology has moved just in the last 2 years or so. It's amazing how much quicker we can develop code now, how much faster we can get features out to market. And so where I see things going is more automation, more QA, or not QA, sorry, more coaching. That's really where a lot of CallFinder's focus is right now, is automating as much of the coaching journey as we possibly can, really to, make sure that agents are getting the best feedback they can possibly get.
And that coaching module just launched this past January. Is that correct?
We released the first flavor of it back in January. Yes.
And how's it going so far? It's a big step.
It's a big step for us. It gave us the roadmap or the runway we needed to really just extend it even further. I feel like we're just getting started with what we can do with coaching. Really, what drove the coaching platform in the first place was CallFinder has been really good at analyzing data over the last, we've shown that time and time again, and we present a lot of data to our clients. And really the question is always, okay, what's next? And that's really where the coaching came in.
So what's ahead? You're trying to stay ahead of trends. What are you thinking about? AI, machine learning, automation, and the customer experience. Like what's keeping you up at night?
Well, I mean, worrying about competitors always keeps me up a little bit at night.
Well, of course, but it sounds like there's not a lot of competition on the extra mile. That's what I always see. It seems like your team really goes the extra mile.
So from what we've seen, there's a lot of focus in the contact center world about trying to reduce the number of agents on phones, trying to augment them with AI bots and things like that. We believe that there's always going to be some level of human interaction on the phone calls, right? I don't know how many times I've gone to call somebody and, you go through an IVR prompt or you're talking to an AI bot. At some point, if it's a hard enough conversation, you really need to talk to a human to straighten things out. And we have some clients that if you're on a call for 45 minutes talking about health benefits, it's a very different experience than calling up and having a 2-minute conversation about a product warranty issue or something like that. So where I'm going with all of this is I really see us continuing this journey and looking for ways to use technology and AI to help train the agents, but really moving more to that supervisor QA level. Mm-hmm. So the supervisors and QAs, that's a pretty, I don't want to say it's a forgotten space, but it's an underutilized it's a target that doesn't get a lot of attention. Everyone's always about agents, but the supervisors and QA agents, they also need to have tools to help their jobs and make more efficiencies.
Absolutely, and do it without compromising quality, but just get a little better, a little smarter, and faster.
100%.
So what sets you apart? I think it's really the consultative approach, right?
Sure.
I mean, I love the way that you have this team. It seems like you get like consultants and like right alongside for the ride and analysts, right? I mean, you have members of your team that I think are unique.
Unique, yes. I would say that a lot of what sets us apart is our just customer service first, nonstop drive to just deliver the best we possibly can. We work with call centers of all different sizes. That's another area that sets us apart. A lot of our competitors won't even touch call centers that are under 100 or 200 agents. As Laura talks about, we work with customers and call centers all the way down to 5, 10 agents in size. 20, 30, 40, 50 agent call centers, those are a great spot for us. It's a sweet spot. We offer tons of value to those types of clients. We, of course, have plenty of technology or plenty of features in place to support all the way up to 500, 600, 700 seat call centers as well. But I think our focus on the smaller end of the market is one of our differentiators as well.
So this has been great, and I could talk to you all day, but we're coming up on our last question. And what's a tech trend outside the contact centers that you think will eventually impact the entire industry?
I mean, it's no secret that AI is making huge waves nowadays, and more and more call centers are looking for ways to try to drive efficiencies and try to save money. Let's be honest.
Sure, of course.
Save money.
It's been as long as I can remember.
As long as you can remember. Unfortunately,
tried and true theories.
Unfortunately, for a lot of times, call centers are looked at as a cost, right?
Yes.
And
Again, not new.
Not new. It's been around a long time. And I think the technology is just going to continue driving the cost down of what it costs to operate a call center. And hopefully in the process, we raise, the level of experience that our customers and the people calling on are getting.
Awesome. So one thing, what would you, I guess in your final thoughts, where would you say if they're thinking about getting started, best way to engage with you, best thing to do?
To get started with CallFinder?
Yeah.
What's the best way? Book a demo. Call up one of our salespeople. We'd love to walk through it. If you have technical questions, you can always get to me. I'm not a CTO that flies high in an office somewhere, won't talk to customers. I'm on client calls all the time. And again, that goes back to some of our earlier points of just trying to drive customer service and just our white glove approach. I love getting on the phone with our clients and just hearing about their pain points and their use cases. It's what shapes our roadmap. And so if you want to talk to me, I'll get on the phone anytime. So,
well, that comes shining through with your whole team is how much you care, how much you roll up your sleeves, how accessible and approachable you are, and how genuinely you want to drive the right outcomes for your clients. So thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Valerie.
Bye-bye.
Bye.